Hello, it's Elise Lonsdale again with yet another tip on how to use software, and today we're discussing password managers. Passwords are so important these days, and now we're moving into the era of passkeys. But I'm covering passwords today because we've had them for a long time. People tend to write them down in these little black books, and when they do, and it comes time to update one, they have so many little crossouts, or they forget to write in here, and the password they've got logged down is no good. But we do need to keep our online accounts safe. So one way of doing it electronically is with a password manager. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I use 1Password because it's cross-platform. It works on the Mac, the Windows environment, and my iPhone and iPad, which means wherever I am, I can access my material, my sites. And we're going to practice doing that today. On my secondary display, I actually have 1Password running. There are other password managers like LastPass and even the Apple keychain, but if you're not on Apple, then you can't be using that so easily. And it has actually copied the user interface layout similar to the way that 1Password does it. The reason it's called 1Password is because you only have to remember one password, not a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to type that in here now. Now, I've turned off Apple VoiceOver because it was interfering with the recording, but I'm going to do this for any vision impaired or blind people watching this. I'm actually going to do this the cited way because this is part of my assessment for the Cert 4 course I'm doing. Now, you'll see when I'm in the password manager, there are three columns. The first column are the vaults, or folders if you like, of various categories that I have. I've got them for Australian news and media, banking, school, my other job at Statewide Vision Resource Centre, and the list goes on. The second column are, at the moment, it's set to all vaults. But if I select a vault, which I'm about to do, it will narrow that column down, and you'll see the passwords and usernames for only that particular category. And the third column, or the main part of the screen, is where each record is displayed. So think about your password for Facebook might be one record, your password for LinkedIn could be another record, your password for your school will be another record, your password for your bank, or your credentials, as we often refer to them as, your credentials for your bank website would not only be another record, but could exist in another vault, which mine have done. You don't necessarily have to use vaults, but I'd like to use it because it helps me keep it organized. I'm going to go to the Chisholm vault, and I have some records in here, and one of which is the one we're going to use, which is this Moodle one. And now sadly I don't have any software that's going to allow me to zoom in to each of the fields in this record, but like most things, they consist of three main elements: the username, which is in this case my Chisholm email address, my password, which is rendered on the screen with representations of just dots, and the link. Now, I've actually got two URLs because I think I was given the incorrect one, or one that seems not to want to work. And what we can do is we can copy these elements into the website. So I'm going to make this as quick as I can. There is actually a bug in Safari at the moment where it's not allowing me to go to websites that I click on from here. So I will circumvent that bug by going to the little drop down arrow next to the field and using the copy. I'll run Safari. Okay, Safari's now up and running on its home page, so I'll go and set focus to the address bar by going Command L and then Command V to paste that URL into the Safari web browser. And it takes me to, for our students at school, an all too familiar login screen, which is a Microsoft login. So sometimes you may have more than one of these. So I'm going to select the one that I have, and it's the only one I have, and that is the Chisholm logon. And it's going to come up with straight in because I've been in there before, and I did this earlier on, and I wonder if I can log out. Let me see what else I can show you. What about 9 now? Let's forget about the school. I'll just go back to all vaults. I know I've got a category there for it. So things go wrong. ABC iView, it's probably been used too recently. I can't find 9 now here, so I'll use its search. 9 NOW, which is online streaming free entertainment. Again, same thing applies. We have a username, a record. We have a username, which in my case is elise@lonsdalemedia.com.au, a password which is not revealed, and a link which should be here. It is here, 9now.com.au. All right, so I've copied that link to the clipboard. Again, we'll copy it back into the web browser. And here comes 9now, and they want to know something. Yes, why not? Yes, allow. Cookies are allowed to know where I am, or some such twaddle. All right, so we're going to go to its login link. And now my keychain from Apple's trying to fill this in. Now, keychain does have a horrible reputation for being like that little black book and holding incorrect and out-of-date information. I know the keychain to be correct, but I am demonstrating 1Password. Now here I can use that copy link to the left, or rather the right of the field. You can navigate there with your screen reader of choice if you are blind. Okay, that's asking for just the username, which is good. I like things when they do that, because if the username's not found, it will challenge it. I'm going to just do that with keychain because I think we have a problem with the website. So what I'll do is I'll just show you that. It just seems to be some weirdness there. As I said, keychain can copy in incorrect information. We'll copy in the password from from 1Password rather. KeyPass was an older one I used to use under Windows. I'll paste it in there with Command V, or if you're on a Windows machine, Control V, or right click and paste a copy or something. Anyway, that should log us in, and it has. And there is 9now, so I can stream live content or watch catch-up TV. So let's have a look at making a quick record. School one, so I'll just do this in the Chisholm context. There is a button here that's for new entry. I will just go Command N, and there are a whole bunch of things that appear on the menu, like passport, banking details, bank account numbers, a whole bunch of things you may not necessarily want to log into, but we're just going to take a standard login. I'm just going to call this school test, SCHOOLTEST. That's an arbitrary name that allows us to identify it. It's defaulting to the Chisholm vault because that's where I last was. So I'm going to type in my username that I set when I created my school account, which is going to be elise@schol.com.au. That's the username, being an email address. Usually it is. I'm going to set a password. I can actually generate a very, very complex password here. If I click in the right spot, sometimes that happens. It actually has happened. This password, now there's often it comes up with a dialog box asking you how many characters you want. Now, this is like my Facebook password. I don't know it. And I don't really want to know it because it's full of extra characters, and it's about 32 characters long and a headache. Why would I want to remember it? Nor do I want to write it down anywhere. Oh, there it is. There's the dialog box. It's just come up. So I'm just going to accept that. Now it's rendered it back as dots. The URL for that website will be https://schol. Let's type that in right. ool.com.au, and there you go. So that's my school account. I'm just going to save that. When I save that, sadly we can't magnify it in. We have a record here that's in an uneditable state. So like I did with the 9now context, I can just copy out the details. In actual fact, something I will now reveal for you is that if you want to check on a record without actually having to copy it anyway, you can reveal the password. So I can copy that password to fill in if I were on the school.com.au account or website, but I'm going to go here and I'm going to go reveal password, which is that password here, which is that long 32 one it's set, 32 character long one. And if you want, you can even have it revealing in large font. Let's try that again, fellas. There it is, right across the screen. So if you needed to come in here and check a record to confirm that you've got the right details before you maybe handed it on to a trusted source, or did something with it or documented it somewhere else, you can do that. This has been a brief overview of keeping your passwords safe, doing it electronically, and in this case with a password manager called 1Password. I'm Elise Lonsdale. Thank you for watching.